Yo, what's going on, boys? Sekapoko here, bringing you another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. For this, we're going over some of the bits of One Piece Treasure Cruise news that's come out over the last couple days, and I've just been a little bit behind, just a little. I had some live stuff come up, so I'm sorry I wasn't able to release these videos on time, but we're going to be going over the brand new Sugofest for Treasure Mode on Global. We're going to be going over some of the new story units that come out on the Japanese version, and some of the other units that have been coming out. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. For the first bit of news, this is going to be a fan project that has got released on the global version of One Piece Treasure Cruise. What this is the One Piece Treasure Cruise calendar to help you out figuring out when new raids are coming out, new Fortnights are coming out, etc. And this gentleman, Enkend, has put out this application. It's actually kind of cool. And a couple of people in my chat, and as well as Discord, have decided to use it. They said it's a good app, works out great. I gave some notes. The font really doesn't pop well. There's some other things that are like a little nitpicky things for me, but otherwise the app is pretty fine. If you guys are on the Japanese version, however, this version of the OPTC app calendar application only covers the global version and not the Japanese version. So just know that this is a global only thing. The link is going to be in the description below if you want to check it out. It has both Reddit posts, and one of them has a YouTube video showing exactly what the application is and how it works and everything. So it's, to me, I think it's pretty cool. I won't be using it because I don't need that for the global version. I just check Reddit and other things. For everybody else, this is basically for you guys, hoping you guys like this and be able to use it in the future. So big shout out to Enkend. Now, the next bit of news, the thing that everybody wants to talk about today, is going to be the brand new Treasure Mode Sugofest that's coming out to the global version with the new Koala as well as the new Boa. If you don't know, this new Boa is friggin' amazing. She is I think she's an orb booster as well as orb manipulator. I gotta check. This new Boa is gonna change block, strength, dex, quick, int, and psi orbs on shooter characters and cerebral characters into matching orbs. And then if you're on a treasure mode, it's gonna amplify the orbs effects of cerebral and shooter characters depending on the treasure map level for one turn. Now, I think this is one of the first units, or the first unit, that is a treasure mode based unit that has a treasure mode based mechanic. And that's actually really, really good for the global version because you guys get returning treasure map characters in every single treasure mode. So that's actually really, really good for you guys. On the Japanese version, we don't get that, but what can you do? It's going to start from level 1 through 10 at a 1.75 orb boost, then at level 11 through 20, a 2 times orb boost, and at level 21 through forever, you're going to get a 2.25 times orb boost. So if you are considering pulling on a Treasure Mode Sugofest, this is one of the best ones you can get. And this Treasure Mode Boa is actually useful outside of Treasure Mode, because on cerebral and shooter teams, you can actually use this character as an orb manipulator on certain content. There are certain situations where you need to take colored orbs and put them into matching, or possibly use block orbs into matching, and this is a great unit that does that. However, outside of Treasure Mode, you don't get the orb boost, which kind of blows, but what can you do there? The next unit on there is Miss Valentine. Miss Valentine is paralysis and despair -3, as well as cut the HP of one enemy by 10%. She's not very useful at all, but the Boa is very good. So let's talk about the Sugofest. Treasure Mode Sugofest is split into 3 parts, just like every other Sugofest for Treasure Mode. Part 1 is going to be from July 9th through July 12th. Part 2 is from July 12th through July 15th, and Part 3 is from the 15th through the 17th. Part 1 for the Sugofest is going to be a 10+1 rare recruit. The second last multi-pull is going to have a guaranteed evolved Miss Valentine. The 3rd and 6th multi-pulls are going to have a guaranteed legend, and the 9th and 12th multi-pulls are going to have a guaranteed legend with the Sugofest exclusive characters, and there are certain rate boosts. Now, from what we saw in the last Treasure Mode Sugofest, you can tell the rate boosts were pretty significant, but they weren't significant enough to get a guaranteed one of these. I think it was like over 40 or 50% to get one of these rate up units, and it was like 50% chance or so to get a non-rate up unit. So definitely a decent chance. And one of the best units that you wanted was a very high rate, was for Frankie. I think it was like 16% or something like that. I don't know if they're going to do that this time around, but I do know that last time around was okay. The rate boosted characters for the Sugofest for the 9th and 12th multi-pulls are going to be version 2 Doflamingo, Judge, Shirahoshi, Crocodile, Boa Hancock. I don't know if that's version 1 or version 2, but either way they suck. We got version 2 Law, version 2 Rob Lucci, as well as Blackbeard. Part 2 and Part 3, the new Hancock, both pre-evolution and post-evolution, is significantly rate boosted. So hopefully you get some good chances to get her on this one. There is no guaranteed on the second multi, but there is going to be, of course, the guaranteed legends on the 3rd and 6th multiples. And then the 9th and 12th multiples are going to have Nico Robin, Lucy, Magellan. You know what? That one might be version 1 law? I think that's version 1 law. I don't actually know. Oh, on part 1 it was version 1 law. On part 2 it's version 2 law. Then it's Nekomamushi, Fujitora, Mihawk, as well as Whitebeard. On part 3 we're gonna see Frankie on the 9th and 12th. Version 2 Rayleigh, Inarashi, Fujitora, Akainu, Usopp, Hody Jones, and version 1 Lucci. For the rare recruits, what we got is going to be Sai Nico Robin. What? Pretty much every single legend is available on every single part, so I don't know why they're showing this. But for the golds, we're going to see Valentine Hancock, Quick Nami. So if you didn't pull her on the Valentine Shiroshi Sugofest, you're going to be able to pull her here on part 1. Pika. Then we got Pedro, Sicilian, Perona, Quick Rayleigh, Bastille, Shitty Robin, Shitty Int Robin, Shitty Dex Robin, Shitty Dex Zoro, Dagma, Violet, Lauji, Killer, and Sai Shang. For part 2, we got Dex Shirahoshi, Strength Treble, Sai Sugar, Viola, T.S. Brook, Gumo, Momonga, Haruta, Suleiman, Caesar, Khalifa, Thatch, Vista, and Robin. I don't know which Robin. They just said Int Robin. And then part 3 of the Sugofest, we're gonna have Strength Carrot, Int Koala, Senor Pink, Rebecca, Kairos, Bellamy, Wanda, Lafitte, Cybrook, Quick Nami. That's the shitty version of Quick Nami, not the good version. 3-day 2-way Robin, 3-day 2-way Zoro, shitty Int Treble, and Dex Law. At the end of these pulls, there's going to be no additional rewards after the 12th 10+1 pull, and the 10+1 pulls are reset on every single part of the banner, not on every single day. So going into should you pull or should you not pull, obviously, if you are a free-to-play player, don't fucking pull. Do not be baited. This is a treasure mode Sugofest. You are free to play. This is not for you to pull on. Free to play implies you pull on good Sugofest and you spend the rest of your gems farming on the free to play content. You don't pull on the bait banners. If you guys are a little bit more whaley and you guys decide to pull on global, my recommendation, of course, is doing 2 multis to 3 multis on part 1 if you're going to be doing any multis at all. Probably not a good at Sugofest, go beyond 3 multis. As far as the rate up golds, the best day I've seen was either part 1 or part 3 because you can get the Valentine Carrot as well as the Valentine Koala. Valentine Koala is probably one of the more useful units. Valentine Carrot, not super useful. You rarely ever will use Carrot. She is a very good unit, however, you just don't use her very often. Going into other units, Shirahoshi is extremely good, but she is rated up on day 2. However, by part 2, you won't be able to get the guaranteed Valentine. So completely up to you if you want to pull on part 1 or part 2. But my personal thought, of course, is just pull on part 1, get your free unit, and hope to God you pull Boa. I don't know what the rate ups are for part 2 versus part 3 on Sugofest for global and how they do the structuring of the rates for the other units. But from my personal opinion, as well as for what I've seen, is you can't really pull Boa on part 1. So if you're really trying to get Boa and just Boa, then you'll probably have to pull on part 2 and then not pull at all on part 1. So completely up to you on what you want to do. On the JP version, we just pulled on one part and we can get both, but the rate ups are a little different for us, I guess. And for the next set of news we got here is going to be Fortnite Donsai as well as Fortnite, I'm going to get it, Baby 5. So for the 2 units, Donsai is a Dex fighter and striker character. He's going to have a captain ability that's going to be shitty with boosting fighters and striker characters by 2 times. And after 3 consecutive greats, 2.5 times attack to the same classes. Why the fuck would you ever want that? Okay. His special ability does 50,000 times fixed damage to an enemy that bypasses all barriers, and if the captain is a fighter or striker, refresh all orbs, including block orbs. I think that means shuffle. And so Donsai, really shitty unit. No one really cares about him. I would say you can use this unit to socket your Strength Donsai if you really need to, who is a 2-turn fighter type booster, I believe, and striker type booster, I think. I'm not sure, though. Not sure about the striker, but I'm pretty sure he's fighter. And then we got Baby 5, who is a quick slasher and striker. Her captain abilities boost the attack of slasher and striker characters and shooter characters by 1.75, so obviously super shitty. And her special ability is change the captain orbs into decks and boost the orbs of fighters by 1.75 for 1 turn. That's shitty. She has the sailor ability. If the captain is a fighter, add 1.5 times to his attack to the tap timing bonus. That's also very shitty, by the way. Overall, both of these units are super fucking trash. The thing that Baby 5 makes her really bad is that she is a striker and slasher unit that boosts the orbs of fighters. If you're thinking about using her on your version 2 Sanji teams, you can't. Get fucked. So otherwise, these are probably the worst Fortnite units that have come out in a very long time, and that's one of the reasons I want to go over them. I don't know what the fuck Bandai's thinking, but this is awful. In the Japanese version, we got this new event coming out, and it looks like this. I don't know when this thing's coming out, but it's like a 5 stamina run, and I just want to go over that real quick. Apparently, the rewards are restricted to 14 cost or less characters. The fuck? And the 4th quest is a ranking event where kids' characters will be boosted. Oh, it's the kids event. That's what it is. It's the kids event that we saw earlier in the month. Deal highest damage in 1 turn. Rewards are 1 million damage. You get a cotton candy. You get 1 of each type of cotton candy. 2 million damage. You get 5 of each cotton candy. And 7.5 million damage. You get 10 of each cotton candy. So you just have to hit 7.5 million damage, but the cost restriction is 14 cost or less. The fuck, Bandai? Why would you? That's such a jerk. So if you guys do want to get some, cotton candy rewards here, that's great. However, this is an annoying event. 14 cost or less. You guys suck. And for the final bit of news here, we're going to go over the brand new story mode units that are coming out to the Japanese version. The first of which is going to be Strength 5 plus Doflamingo. Then we got Jesus Burgess as well as Treble. And yes, you will need a Doffy skull. So let's go over Strength Striker driven Doflamingo. His captain ability is going to be a 2.5 times attack and 1.3 times HP boost to striker characters. If the same special has been activated in the turn, attack switches to 3 times. Basically, if you pop Doflamingo's special, he goes from a 2.5 times captain to a 3 times captain. That's pretty good. Not gonna lie, that's a pretty good captain ability. As far as story mode characters go, he's definitely one of the best. Just as far as captain ability goes. So definitely a great unit to farm. His special ability is gonna cut the HP of all enemies by 20%. That's really good. Changes his own orb into strength. And for 2 turns, deals all enemies a 10% cut every single turn. So that's like a Fuji Torta special, but at 10% instead of 20. So that's actually really good. The reason that's good is because that's end of turn damage. So if the boss has resilience, that actually is a kill. So that's great. And if the activation, the HP are below a certain threshold, it boosts the attack of driven and striker characters by 1.75 for 1 turn. It's 50%, by the way. Just checked. If you're below 50%, this is a 1.75 type booster. And actually, that's pretty good because this is kind of the reverse of the Kai Coliseum Diamante that boosts above 50% at a 2 times boost. So this is actually kind of good. And having a 1.75 driven type booster free to play is nice. Having a 1.75 striker type booster is not really new, but is nice. And this is actually a great unit for, I believe, 6+ Barto teams too. So that's kind of cool. Overall, I think that's nice. Then the next unit is going to be Quick Slasher Burgess, which is going to have a 2.5 times fighter type booster, as well as 10% damage reduction to fighters, which is pretty good. Not amazing, but that's pretty good. His special ability is a 25% cut that depasses all defensive buffs. However, it's only 1 enemy, so don't think it's against Blackbeard. It's 1 enemy. 25% cut though is pretty fucking bitchin' though. Wow. Just wow. That Burgess though, that's really useful. I mean, a 25% cut that casts through barriers is definitely useful. And the last suit is going to be these Treble, which is going to be a striker and driven character. That's going to have a 2.5 times attack to strikers and 1.5 HP to drivens, which is kind of shitty. And then his special ability is reduce the current HP of everybody by 60% and inflicts 8 times the amount subtracted to all enemies, as well as boost the orbs of strikers by 1.5 for 1 turn. That's a really decent wave clear mechanic. However, I would say don't think that you're going to be using that very often, but being able to use wave clear is nice. However, the reason I don't think this is useful is because there are a lot of characters nowadays that can reduce not HP, but that can do wave clear. There aren't a ton of reasons to need a character to reduce your HP by 60%. However, he does work with the Doflamingo in order to get your 1.75 boost, but he does do a 1.5 times orb boost. I'd say if Treble was a 1.75 times orb booster, I would be much more inclined to using this Treble. However, I don't really think this Treble is really good. He's just okay. I do like that he is striker and driven, so that it gives you some options to play around with. But of the two, I think the Burgess and the Doflamingo are extremely good. All right, guys, well, that's gonna do it for the news. My name is Sekapoko. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you smack the like button down below, as well as the subscribe button down below, so we get lots of support in the channel, and of course, keep the channel growing. If you guys do want to get notifications on all my videos, bell notification right next to it, and if you want to check the last couple videos, they're right over there. Have a great day. Peace.